So thanks for joining me for another Learn to Play video. So in this one, I'm going to take you guys through a full scenario so you can see how the game plays. And before I get into it, the one thing I want to cover that I did make an error on during my teaching video is how you bring radar tokens, or you do your initial radar tokens. So in this scenario, with us playing 3 players, it tells us that we're going to need 2 Swarmer 4 tokens, so we'll have those. 1 Swarmer 5 token, 1 Jeter 3, and 1 Jeter 4. From there, you're going to go ahead and shuffle those up. And these will be the only tokens you'll use for this game. The rest of the tokens will be put off to the side. And then you're going to place them randomly out on the different areas that are outlined in the book. From here, we're ready to start the game. So I've gone ahead and selected my captain to be the first player, and I've had to condense these fields, as normally you'd have your areas for your headgear and your body gear on the sides of the cards. But for this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and stick them up on top of the heroes so that you guys can see all of the hero boards. So our captain's going to go first, and she's going to enter the first room here, and then she'll perform a search action. So she found an assault rifle, and then she's going to move up here for her third action. Moving on to my medic, he's going to do the same thing by moving in here and doing a search. He found a shotgun, and then he'll finish his move into that area there. Finally, we have our engineer who's going to do the same thing, and he found some medical blades, and then he'll continue on to that section. From here, then all of our heroes are done, so we'll do the enemy's movements. So we'll start with this guy over here. He's going to move down. This guy, his only option is to move over. Up top, he can move in. The guy in the room is going to move up. And the one over there is going to move up. Then we'll draw our event card, and it says blackout, so movement restriction is restricted to 2 areas, and weapon range is reduced to 0. So that'll be in effect for the rest of the turn. And then we'll move our token over to our medic to be the starting hero this turn. So our medic's going to go, and he's going to do a search. He found a med kit. And then he'll move up and do another search, and he found a pistol. So he can dual wield his pistols, so that'll take up 1 slot. And then we'll move over to the engineer. So he'll do a search. He found a med kit as well. And he'll move up and do another one, and he found an alert 1. So he'll put a noise token there. And then our captain's going to go, she'll do a search. She found a void cannon. And then she'll move up into that space and do another search and a noise token 3. So we'll replace our noise token. So moving into the enemy's turn, this radar token now is active because it's within 3 of the noise token. So it's going to go ahead and move into this area, which as soon as it moves in, it'll turn over. And so we found 4 swarmers. So before we spawn the swarmers, we have to see if a Solomon is included in them. So we'll roll the dice, and since we're using 3 heroes, a 3 or 2 or 3 will trigger that. So we roll just above it, so we won't have that. And then each one of our guys has to take a resolve test to see if they can hold up. So our engineer over here is going to be first. He rolls a 12, so he failed. And he does have a 9 for one of his resolve cards, so we'll resolve that. So it says vertigo. He's going to test his resolve. If he fails, he's going to lose 1 resolve and 1 health. So we'll do that real quick. And he does fail that as well. He is not feeling good here. And so then we'll move into the medic. He passes on an 8, and the captain passes on an 8 as well. So in the rule book, it says that you can't pile in or have more models in a space than can fit in there. I'm just going to go ahead and bypass that rule, though, because I really don't like that aspect. So I'm just going to say we're going to pile them all in there, and it's just going to be a big, massive amount of enemies. All right, so then we go in and move in the rest of the guys. So this is more than 3 spaces away. This would be the third space, or that one. This is actually the fourth space, so he's going to be passive, and so he's going to move up. Our first token over here is going to move down. The second token in there will move over, and the last one over there is going to move up. Okay, so then we're going to go ahead and take the top card of the event deck, and this is a radar token spawn in the crew quarters, which there aren't crew quarters out. So then we'll go back into the hero's turn, and it will be the engineer to start us off. So the engineer happens to have the medical blades, and he's going to go ahead and use his active ability, which says that all attacks you make this turn roll +2 dice, but are also +1 to hit. So the medical blades will get 3 dice, but they're going to need 4s instead of 3s to hit. So we're going to go ahead and do our first attack, and we got 1 success, so we'll take 1 swimmer away, as the swimmers only have 1 health. And the engineer will take his second attack, and he fails on all 3. So then his turn is done. The medical blades make 1 noise, and we can remove this noise from the previous turn, so we'll put a 1 noise in there. And then our captain's going to go. She has the assault rifle, and her passive ability is that any failed range attacks will not hit the survivors. So she's going to go ahead and use that assault rifle. She's looking for 4s. She got 3 successes, so that'll finish off the enemies. Now the assault rifle makes a 3 noise, so we're going to go ahead and put a 3 in there instead of the 1. And then the captain still has 2 actions left, so she's going to go ahead and move into here for 1, and she'll go ahead and do a search for her last. She found a medical laser, which she's going to go ahead and switch out for the swarmer legs. That is the end of her turn, so then we'll go and do the medic real quick. So he's going to go ahead and move 2 spaces and go ahead and grab that objective. The hero's turn is done now, so then we're going to go into the enemy's turn. So our noise token is 3, so it is going to activate this guy now. So he's going to move 2 spaces, and he could move down here into this space, but it's not going to get him that close to the survivors. But if he moves 1 here and 2 here, he is in line of sight of them. So the captain can see it, so we're going to go ahead and resolve that. So the first thing we're going to do is check to see if we get a Solomon with it. Nope. Then we'll flip it over, and it is 5 swarmers. And then the captain's going to make a resolve check. And she passes on an 8. Then we're going to take care of the other enemies. So this one over here is going to move over. The one in the room will move back up again. And the one over there was going to move over. Then we'll go ahead and do our event. And this one is a radar token spawn in the armory. We don't have the armory, so that one is going to be nothing again. And so it goes back to our captain for being the first player. We'll remove our noise token. So our captain is going to go ahead and fire her assault rifle into that space and try to clear out some of those swarmers. So she rolls 2 4s, which are 2 successes, so she'll take 2 of the guys away. And she'll put a noise token 3 in there. Then we're going to go and fire again. She got 1 success. And her last action, she got 2 more, so she cleared them out. Then we're going to go back into the medic's turn, who's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, and I think he'll do a search there. So he found an assault rifle as well. He's going to go ahead and drop his pair of pistols. And then the engineer's going to go, so the engineer will do a search. He found another med kit, which he's going to go ahead and just discard. He'll move into here and move in with the medic. So then we're going to go to our enemy's turn. So our first enemy here is within 3 spaces of the noise token, so it's going to move 1, 2. And then our enemy up there will go ahead and be passive, move back down, and the one over there is going to move back here. And then we'll go ahead and do an event. So this is blackout again, so restriction is moved to 2 zones and the weapons have no range. It is going to be our medic first. And so he sees the opportunity to make it into this other section here. So he's going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3 into that room. And then the engineer is going to follow him to provide some backup. And then the captain will go. So she's going to move 1, 2, and 3. And our noise token will go away. So then we'll go back to the enemy's turn. So our enemy over here is passive again as the noise has gone away. So he'll move back up. Our enemy over there is going to move over. And then the last enemy is going to move down. And again with the events, so it says all doors are locked for lockdown. So our engineer will be the first one to go this turn. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3. Our captain cannot get through the locked door, so she's going to go ahead and move 1, 2 over there and hold her position. And then our medic is going to go 1, 2, 3 as well. Moving over to the enemy's turn, we're going to start up here with this guy. He's going to move over. Our enemy in the building, or in the rooms, cannot move down, so clockwise we'll go this way. And then our final enemy over there can't move down, so he's going to move back up. And then we'll flip the next event card is a radar spawn in the Primus cell, which we don't have a Primus cell, so nothing will happen there. And so it'll be our hero's turn again with the captain starting us off. So she's going to step over here, which will trigger that event, or that radar. So she'll take her resolve check. And she rolls an 8, so she's okay there. Then we're going to see if we get a Solomon up there with those guys. Nope, we're good there. So then we'll flip it over. And it is a 4 swarmer. And then she's going to go ahead and take some shots at him. So for her second action, she rolled 3 successes. And we'll drop that noise token over there. And her fourth action, or her third action, I'm sorry. She'll go ahead and take another shot at him. What the heck? So she rolled 1 success, and so that'll put him out of his misery. Moving on to the medic, he's going to move down and over, and he'll be ready to leave next turn if he needs to. And then the engineer will do the same thing. So then we'll do our movement of our tokens. So this guy over here is passive, and we'll move over 1. This guy is active, so he's going to move 1, 2. And we're going to check to see if we get a Solomon. Wow, close again with a 4, but not close enough. Then our captain will take her resolve check, and she passes on a 7. And then we'll flip it over, and it's 3. And then we can go ahead and do our event. So this one is failed life support. All life forms lose 1 health. So all of our heroes are going to lose 1. And this particular scenario has a bad atmosphere, so our heroes will lose 2 health due to the failed life support. Which means over here that our enemies are going to potentially die, as each of them only have 2 health. So in a situation where the life support is going to hurt them, you're going to take that 1 away, or you're going to half them rounding up. So with 3 guys, 1 will die, and the other 2 are okay. So then we'll move on to our hero's turn. So our medic will go first. He's just going to leave. And the same thing with the engineer. Our captain, before she goes, can take 1 shot, just for the heck of it. And she only rolled 1 success, so what isn't going to be enough to kill him, but then she's going to just move 1, 2, and be off as well. And that's the end of the scenario. Since we played the first mission in a campaign, I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys how the Refuge event works now as well. So now that we've completed our first mission, we would come to the Refuge here. And before we can do anything, first you want to place a token on the number 5 slot, as we can only be in the Refuge 5 turns. From there, then you're going to drop the top 3 cards of the items deck and place them in there. If any of those items happen to be a noise counter, then you would discard that and draw again until you have 3 items. Any survivor that goes to the trading post can trade 2 of their items for 1 of the items here. At this point, then, we would go ahead and deal out new resolve cards to each of our survivors, which I'm not going to do, but in the situation that, say for like the engineer here who has dropped his resolve, if he gets a resolve card that is higher than his current resolve, he's going to keep that hidden and only reveal that during his first failed resolve check during the next mission. From here, each of the heroes can choose one of the 4 spots to go to, which is a trading post, infirmary, quarters, or loved ones. So our medic is going to go to the quarters. Same with the engineer, and the captain will go and see some loved ones. At this point, each one of the survivors is going to go ahead and roll 1 dice to see what happens on their charts, except for the 2 that are in the quarters, which they can heal 1 health or 2 resolve. So our engineer is, of course, going to heal his 2 resolve, and our medic will gain 1 health back. Our captain here has a chart, so she'll roll 2 dice for that. Rolls a 7, so a warm welcome plus 2 resolve. Her resolve is full, so nothing's going to happen there. And then our survivors have a choice. They can either leave and go to the next mission, or they can stick it out and see what happens with the first event card. So we're going to hold off, as some of our survivors need a little bit more healing yet. So we're going to flip over this top resolve card, and it says vaccinations. All survivors gain 1 health. So that was helpful. And then we can go to the next turn. So again, our survivors will choose what they want to do. Our medic is fully healed and he doesn't need anything, so he's just going to go ahead and put his guy back on his board, as he really doesn't want to do anything else. Our captain only needs 1 more health, so she's going to go there, and the engineer is going to try the infirmary. So he's going to go ahead and resolve the infirmary, and he rolls an 11, which gives him 3 health, so he is at max. And then we'll resolve our captain, who is now at full health. At this point, our survivors are all at full health and full resolve, so there's nothing else they can do. So they're going to go ahead and leave for the next mission. So I hope that you guys found that helpful. It is a basic one, and we didn't get to do too terribly much, but it gives you guys a good idea how the game plays. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed this video or you like what I do, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel, as it really does help me. And as always, thanks so much for watching my videos. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to watch them and comment. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.